Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another Slime Isekai Memories video. So, in the background, you'll be seeing me playing the Awakening Trials for Geld, one that came out a little bit ago. Just autoing it. But I wanted to kind of discuss my sort of issue, I think, with this game in regards to the entrance for newer players. Now, of course, in almost any game, right, when you join as a new player, you're obviously not going to have as many resources, characters, and all that stuff in comparison to someone who's been playing for a long time, right? My only problem with this game in particular is that when you start as a new player, you have access to a certain amount of characters, right? Obviously, the beginning characters, the ones that initially came out when the game came out, and a few metas that they've put in. So they've added in the Dark 1.0 meta, the Fire 1.0 meta, and the Wind 1.0 meta into the general banner, which, I mean, is always good, right? You know, aside from the standard pool of units that came out almost 10 11 months ago since this game has come out. We want more characters, right? So that as you summon, you don't just pull the same 5 stars that like you don't really care about. My only problem is that the rate at which they update is extremely slow. I think it's in fact way too slow. Now I'm not saying they should just as soon as the month finishes they add them into the general banner, because that would basically mean there'd be no point in just summoning throughout the month, right? It wouldn't really matter. But as a new player, when you join and like the characters that you have access to are like you know, like Fire Guy and Fire Gobita, and that's it, while like you try to do Jubilee and you have like none of the new like specific protection units or battle units that are like almost vital to certain modes like Jubilee. Like, how can you expect people to compete, right? And I mean, they release banners such as the what was it? They released like the Jubilee specific banner, which was out for like what, 2 weeks or like a week or something. And like they occasionally sprinkle some in, like they're gonna add the AoE specialist banner that, like, you know, no one should summon on unless like you're extremely new, right? But I mean, aside from just the banners that release every month, like the pools that you're limited to are just like not enough, in my opinion, to allow people to catch up. Because so far, right, they added in Fire, Wind, and Dark, and we have Earth 1.0, Space 1.0, Light 1.0, and Water 1.0, right? Like, that's 4 extra months worth of characters that a lot of people don't have, right? Like, I don't have Light Leon or Earth Soe, for example. But like, even though these characters aren't, you know, like, I don't need them, right? Like, I can't ever get them until they decide to just update the banners, which could take forever, you know? I mean, assuming they do it with every major celebration, so like 6 months and the year anniversary, right? Like, that's still 6 months that you have to wait, plus an additional if the banner itself or the meta itself is relatively new. So like, if I wanted to summon for, I don't know, Light 2.0, because I wasn't playing there in that month, right? So I don't have any of the characters. Like, I have Shinsha, but she's a free character, right? Everyone got her. And you can just buy her through the flashback crystals, which are another thing I eventually want to talk about. The chance that I'm gonna, like, the time when I'll be able to get those characters like 2.0, they might be like super outdated, right? Because I don't think they would, go all the way up to Water 2.0 or something for the year anniversary, meaning that the next time they change it will probably be at least 3 to 4 months after, maybe even 6 months, which by then those characters might be so outdated they're like worthless to me, right? And I mean, some characters, sure, they can turn out to be viable again, like if they put out more like if the defense battle and make it a regular event, then characters like like I guess just like more defensive oriented characters like the Dark Rimuru, right? The Dark Rimuru protection character. Let's say the Dark team doesn't have like any defense units, but they release a Dark stage and you need the Dark Rimuru. How long is it gonna be till they add him into the general banner? And even then, there's no guarantee that you'll pull him, right? You have to spend a lot of money to actually pull him. Like I've done a lot of summons on this game, like tickets, crystals, all that stuff, and I still don't have all of the general banner units. Like you can pull like 5 copies of Guy, or in my case, like 6 copies of Shizue, when you already have her maxed out. And it's like, I don't even have one Charybdis, like I just pulled the Dark Shion like a week or 2 ago, and she's outdated. Like I'm almost essentially never going to use her, right? So it's like the rate at which they update the general banners, to me, I think is just really way too slow, especially for newer players. Just because like the banners that they give out, like most newer players should not really summon on any of them except the one that releases every month, like the main one with the protection and the battle unit, right? But what if they join like during this month, right? What if they join during this month with Velzard and Guy, they're okay. Like Guy has some uses, sure. Velzard's just kind of okay, and they're testing this whole new instant AoE damage sort of gimmick, which is cool, right? Like there's nothing wrong with trying out new gimmicks or whatever, but like I wouldn't say any of the new characters that have been released are like essential to any mode so far, right? We'll have to see, but like at the moment they're not like the next Hakuro or Light Shizue, right? Where they're just generally overall good because of their skill set. So you take so long to catch up, and even if you summon on those monthly banners, right? Let's say you don't pull any 5 stars with all the crystals you have, except like Fire Guy. Then like, are you gonna use Fire Guy? Like, when are you ever gonna use him? Like as a normal mainstay character? You're just not going to. He's outdated. He sucks. Or like Maid Rimuru. His one use finally came during the defensive battle, but that's it. Like, you're not really gonna use certain characters, and it's just ridiculous to me. I think that holding these characters for so long and forcing certain people to like newer players to summon on the like weird banners that randomly release, it's just like, why? And I mean, I know it's like that with a lot of games, but I just think that particularly with this game, with how meta driven it is, that certain characters or whatever that are like mainstays should regularly be available for like newer players, like, and it doesn't have to be new as in, oh, you just joined like that week or that month. Like even certain players who have played for like 2 to 3 or 4 months, right? don't even have like Earth Hakuro unless they pulled on that specific Jubilee banner, which went away in 2 weeks, right? Like, even the Masked Hero, if you weren't playing during the Space Month and you don't have her, she's like vital to a lot of strategies and a lot of events because of that extra turn that she gives. Plus the crit rate is good, but you know, her main thing is the extra turn, right? Like, it limits people so much, and I think it's something that they need to change. And yeah, that's just my overall thoughts on it. Let me know down below what you guys think about just in general about the game, and particularly whether you think the how often the banner should update. I personally think it should be like at least relatively within like every 3 to 4 months, not every 7 to 8 to 9 months. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.